A big shout out to Amari Don TV, man. That is broski there. I feel like he needs to be given these flowers. He's interviewed a lot of artists, music execs, independent managers, etc. So I was just watching his video that he done with Little Torment, and he said basically, does people get blackballed in the industry? Who blackballed Little Torment? You get me? And why is it taking so long for him to get his flowers? I want to kind of mention just a list of people that I feel like has been blackballed in the industry in different ways. But let's just go into this a bit so you can see. One sec.
Do you feel you've been blackballed?
100%. I know I've been blackballed.
Okay.
I know I've been blackballed.
Okay. How long do you feel you've been or how long do you feel you were blackballed for? And what was the impact of being blackballed?
I don't know the numbers. I'd probably say about when that shit happened, though, innit? What year would you say that was?
I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, obviously I was in prison. Whatever happened with Little Torment, you can see he has been blackballed. It's only this year now he's getting the flowers, and he's always been very cold. But I'm gonna mention a few artists that has been blackballed. You get me? Mitch is an artist that was blackballed. So when that stuff happened at the BBC One Extra in Birmingham, I was there and crept, got stabbed and robbed. Obviously, Mitch got blackballed because his name got called out when he actually didn't do anything. You get me? Regardless of anyone looking for anyone or whatnot, Mitch didn't do nothing and he got blackballed. It took him a very long time for him to get radio play. At that time, I was managing him. He was in a deal with Island Records. Big shout out to Twin, a million times, because at that time, Twin was at Island Records and he was in a higher position there. And there was some complications that happened with his deal, but Twin, he honored it and he, do you know what I mean, kept to his word. But yeah, he was done. Like radio, there was like, Mitch, we're not playing you no more, and he got blackballed. And that then we didn't have TikTok or we didn't have these spaces. You get me, where you can do other stuff. So it was like GRM, boom, boom, boom. Like there was a lot of he had a bad stigma next to his name, and it took a long time. Digga D has been blackballed. Digga D's been blackballed because obviously Fredo came through and done amazing things. You get me? And obviously Digga D was in prison. He speaks his mind, and it was only Mixtape Madness that was only pushing Digga D. Mixtape Madness obviously built underground works, groundworks, I think their name is. But he was blackballed. He wasn't. Now he can't get invited to GRM Gala and whatnot. So maybe people say on his behavior or whatnot, but there's loads of things that was happening with Digga D. You couldn't get features. You get me? Obviously, the industry's built on good relationships, or people pick sides. So that's what happened to Digga D. C-Biz been blackballed from when he got acquitted for murder. You get me? He got blackballed from then. Remember, with Nines, even around that time, Nines was getting managed by SBTV, Jamal, RIP, and whatnot. Obviously, now Nines has obviously got great ties and whatnot with Colin. Colin is one of the main distribution moguls, goats, you get me? Like what he's doing. So, and you can understand, like, even getting acquitted on murder, like no one's not gonna, we always talk about rapping the thing and gangster rap, but when it's real, radio stations not gonna really want to play you. The streets can fuck with you, but you're trying to get into the mainstream, get into the big bag. No brand endorsement's gonna wanna co-sign you. So C-Biz has been blackballed, but now obviously we've got the world, like we've got YouTube, we've got TikTok, we've got so much things that that you can. There's no such thing as being blackballed now. But anyway, I would say myself being blackballed, but I take accountability on that because there's certain things that I've spoken out about or boom. So my character is like, ooh, I don't know about Bouncer or whatnot, or yeah, we're not gonna invite him to this. But to a degree, I get invited to the GRM Gala and whatnot. So, but when it comes to Netflix or Premiere or all these shows, it made me realize I went to a Will Smith premiere, maybe like 8 months ago. Get me? I went there. I was there by myself. I met, like, I see Will Smith, like, I see all of them. They all came there at a proper premiere. And in my head, I was like, if this was in the UK, none of the gatekeepers would ever invite me. I will never get invited to a YouTube event. I will never get invited to none of these things. But with me, I'm still a supporter of all these people because they're pushing the culture. But I know my character. I understand that, which is fine. You get me? Young Spray has definitely been blackballed. You get me? Obviously, let's just call a spade, bro. Most people lick Giggs' ass, you get me? So they're not going to invite Spray to places because they've already understand that Spray and Giggs don't get on. So it's always going to be like, yo, boom, boom, boom. So they will never even think of Spray. Now, in person or whenever you've seen Spray go to these places, he's acted normal. He's been fine. You don't really hear Spray into no mix up. So Spray's been blackballed. You get me? Chip has been blackballed. When Chip and Stormzy was going through it, remember, you gotta understand, Chip went at it with everyone, and obviously there's you gotta understand people that manage Dave. You get me? Chip mentioned Dave. The people that manage Dave, they're heavily inside the industry. Obviously, the label that Stormzy signed to, obviously, people are inside the industry. And it's only really like last year or 2 years last year that Chip even went to GRM Gala, even though he's got a good friendship with Posty. But obviously, sometimes relationships, people can have better relationships with people or whatnot. So I know that Chip at one stage has been blackballed, and the stuff that he's doing now, Graham Savior and this, and creating that his own thing with the community, bro, power. And this is what I keep on saying, like, the list goes on, Giggs got blackballed, you get me, when it comes to, he was not allowed to do shows, bro. Like, he had it hard. The police were blocking him every single time. So when other artists was breaking through, he couldn't break through because of his past, because of where he was from, because of what's going on with the police, because of his brothers and whatnot. So Giggs was blackballed. Krypton Conan's been blackballed. I actually think Krypton Conan, if you look at their history of all the stuff that they've done in terms of the growth, pushing the culture, reason why there is A&Rs and labels and whatnot, like, it started with Krypton Conan. They've paved the wave for how our scene is now, and their names will never get mentioned in one of the greats in terms of even the stuff that they've done. So I feel like they've been blackballed in the sense of they don't give their real flowers. So there's all different types of blackball. But obviously people, get me, I know with Conan, obviously, Conan looks at these things and he's like, right, we've done this, we've helped do this, and they still don't give man their flowers. But then he's like, bounce, if Drake don't get his flowers, and he's been the biggest artist for 10 plus years, they're never gonna give me our flowers. And it made me realize, you get me, K Coke has been blackballed, you get me, K Coke, you get me, the whole co-sign with Jay-Z years ago, man was in jail, bro. Swinford Hall years ago, listening to K Coke and whatnot. And obviously, K Coke has always been that, yeah, he's not in the industry because of the beef with Nines and whatnot. You get me? It's because of that. So you will never see K Coke attend any of these events because, like I said, it is alliances with the gatekeepers in our industry. Get me? There's many other things. You got English Frank. English Frank, I wasn't a part of his come up, but I know that he got cancelled from as soon as he said the N-word. He said the N-word, he got cancelled from as soon as he said the N-word. I know that at one stage, Johnny Guns was someone that was really popping. You had Drake even co-signing Johnny Guns and whatnot. And then down the line, he had problems with SM1, he got kind of blackballed and whatnot. So it goes on. But what I'm basically saying, even with Gigs, what I was gonna say as well, Gigs was meant to open up for Lil Wayne when he came over. He couldn't open up for Lil Wayne. He couldn't perform at Lil Wayne. Now there's many other artists that's been blackballed. And my thing is now, we can't say blackballed now because there's artists that are not part of the music industry that's bigger than the music industry, that's getting bigger numbers than the music industry, that don't attend the music industry. I don't think that DBE is a part of the music industry. Like in the sense of, when I say that, just let me land. They don't attend no events. They don't do anything. They will do their run. They'll keep their branding clean. They'll give their music. They'll build out their USP. Yes, they'll drop on the platforms at GRM. They will do everything from good relationships, but they don't need to play ball and have friends with everyone. Most people probably haven't even met DBE. They probably haven't even met them because they're out of all the mix-up. Now, me making a YouTube or me pivoting from doing Sunday Smoke, like the boxing, going onto TikTok, catering from the 97% made me realize how small our scene is, but how powerful it is. But our scene is small. So when I listen and I hear people up north or hear people from Birmingham and that, because the stigma in Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool is we can't blow because we don't get no support from the industry. Bro, you don't need no support from the industry, bro. You just need to stop being lazy, show your personality, make content. If you're training, if you're not training, if you're doing that, whatever, show your personality and keep on going and you will build up momentum. Like, that's it. And I wanted to kind of discuss, because we do discuss like, oh yeah, boom, man's being blackballed. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I want to be signed by a label. Okay, cool. You're signed by a label. What happens after that? Because if you ain't got no motion in that, label can't do anything. They can't. This is why there's a lot of artists that signed and they still don't get the numbers that they need to get. So yeah, I want to basically say there's no such thing as being blackballed now in 2025. Back then there was, but no one controls media. You get me? You control the narrative of your story if you talk about it. If people talk about your story for you, then they will know about that story, just like C. Montana. If all of a sudden there's a video and a man that's doing 27 years in jail is telling his story, but then all of a sudden man will listen to it and believe that. You get me? And that's what you mean about a narrative. Now, man done a video on C. Montana, and hopefully that video might have changed people's mindsets of like, bro, you can't just listen to something and it's just all of a sudden we're believing this. So anyway, man, what was I gonna play? I was gonna play this. I wasn't even gonna play this. I'm just gonna say, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Obviously, we're doing these 10 to 15 minute insights. I hope you look like the new motion. Click the link in bio. Join to my waiting list on my Patreon. You get me? And yeah, man, it's time to build this personal brand and take it really, really serious. I'm putting 100% into this, 110% into this. And yeah, man, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.